is a very busy day at the Supreme Court today as the justices weigh two cases about transgender athletes playing on women's sports teams at schools across the country. Now, this is an issue that's really become a flashpoint for political culture wars, and you can see the division on full display here at dueling rallies with people coming out on either side of the issue. Hundreds of rallies are here. On this side, you've got a lot of people who have signs like "Protect Women's Sports." These are people who are in favor of the bans that are in place in states like Idaho and West Virginia. Those are the two states in front of the court arguing in favor of bans on transgender athletes competing on women's teams. Now, across the country, there are 27 states that have such bans, and so whatever the justices decide could have an impact on student athletes across the countries and those bans in dozens of states.
After I lost out on qualifying for our regional New England meet my junior year of high school, I missed out on qualifying by 2 spots, with the top 2 spots being taken by those male athletes. So I said if the adults in Connecticut don't want to do anything to protect us, then I need to be the one to stand up and fight for what's right.
Men have a biological advantage over women in sports, and so it's unfair to allow men that to compete against women when they have that biological advantage, which cannot be taken away.
On the other side of the court, though, we've got people arguing in favor of these transgender athletes, saying they belong on these teams, and the lawyers for these transgender athletes inside of the court are arguing that these bans in place in Idaho and West Virginia actually violate the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution, also saying that they violate Title IX, which is a federal law that prohibits sex discrimination in education.
What I would love to see is this court stand up and say, as the Constitution was written as the 14th Amendment, the Equal Protection Clause was written, we understand that gender norms have no place in making laws. Really what we want to see is women to feel empowered, all women, trans girls, trans women included, and that they can overcome these stereotypes.
We know that when trans kids can play sports in communities, they're able to find belonging and be themselves. And the reality is that these kids are not hurting anyone, and trying to police these kids is only going to harm women and girls, because as long as there is a standard of what is a woman and what is a man, people who do not fit into those high standards that the right is pushing are going to be discriminated against.
Now, remember, this is a conservative majority court, and they did recently decide in favor of bans on transgender minors receiving gender-affirming care. That doesn't necessarily tell us what they're going to decide in these cases, but we're not actually expecting rulings in these cases until early summer, so we're going to have to wait to see what the justices decide.